जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जी की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौरहरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचिशिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचिशिला भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस शास्त्र सचिशिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंस शिल गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिशिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सर्वम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवरे की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम व्रत की जय। जय व्रत पालनकारी भक्त वृंद की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पादकमला श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol. We are observing Purushottam Vrata, most auspicious month, non-different from Krishna, Purushottam. So we have to, one of the practices is that we have to daily hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and this topic is especially important, the prayers of Brahma. Yesterday we heard very nice verse. You are the one Supreme Soul, the primeval Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth, self-manifested, endless and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. Then we heard in commentary how Krishna was telling, no, I'm not like that. Then Brahma said, no, you are like this. Evam vidham tvam sakalatmanam api swatmanam atmatmataya vichakshate gur arka labdo panishat suchakshusha ye te tarantiva bhavan ritam buddhim. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way, as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. In commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying, the gist of this verse is, even the worshippers of your feature as the impersonal Brahman can, if they get the good fortune of devotion to your personal form as Paramatma, develop faith in you and attain the status of Shanta Bhaktas, devotees in the rasa of neutrality or passive adoration. That is with Paramatma. Brahma prayed. With devotion, they see Krishna as the super soul who has a charming, handsome, personal form that delights the eyes, mind, and heart. They realize that Krishna has all the qualities described in the previous verses, and that he is the super soul present in all living entities. This is also described in Bhaktirasamrita Sindhu, Paramatma Taya Krishna Jata Shanti Ratir Mata. By understanding that Shri Krishna is the super soul, one attains the neutral stage of devotional service, Shantarati. The question may be asked, how does this take place? Brahma answers, the spiritual master is like the sun. By studying the Upanishads under him and obtaining his mercy, one attains the proper vision to see Krishna as Paramatma and the knowledge to cross over the ocean of illusions known as material existence. You will find in Upanishad, Tadvigyana artam sagurum eva bigachet, samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. If you want to know that special knowledge, eternal knowledge about Supreme, Tat Vijnana Artam Sagurum Eva Bigachet, you have to go to Guru. And how you should approach Samit Panih, with articles for Yagya, because Guru is always doing Yagya, Brahmin doing fire sacrifice. So with the service attitude you should come, you should bring wood and other articles for Yagya, means with service attitude. And what are the qualities of Guru? He has knowledge of Shruti. He heard Shrutis, means Vedas. He is knowledgeable in all the Shastras. And he is Brahmanishta. He is firmly fixed in Brahma, means Supreme. He is realized soul. Only one who has realized Supreme Lord, he is fully fixed in him, always serving him. So to such a Guru you should go, and you should learn from him and also practice sadhana given by him. And when Guru is pleased by seeing your sadhana, then he will bestow his mercy upon you. Then by that mercy you can directly perceive Krishna as Paramatma, and you will understand all those qualities which were described before, is eternal, primeval, all those things. And another one from Upanishad is Acharjo Purusho Veda. Now, Acharjo Van Purusho Veda. Who can know Brahma, means Supreme, described in Upanishad? One who has Acharjo. Acharjo Van means one who took shelter of Acharjo, means Guru. And the word Acharjo is also explained. One who knows the purport of all the Shastras, and he is himself practicing all the injunctions of Shastra and teaching by example. He is Acharjo. So if you took shelter of Acharjo, then you can know, otherwise not. And another verse is in Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Yasya deve para bhaktir jata deve tata guru, tasaite katita hyartam prakashante mahatmana. Only unto that great soul, Mahatma, will be the meaning of the scriptures revealed. And what is the meaning of scripture is Krishna. Aham eva vedyo, aham vedanta. Krishna says by all the Vedas, I am to be known. I am the subject of all the Vedas. in Gita, Krishna says, so what will be revealed? Krishna will be revealed. To whom? To such great soul who has devotion, para yasya deve parabhakti, that pure devotion he has to Supreme Lord. In what way? Same devotion he has for Supreme Lord as well as to Guru, bona fide Guru. Only to such a person that meaning of the Veda will be revealed, which is Krishna. So here Brahma is telling about this point. It is necessary. And Guru, that Shrotriya quality means he knows the Vedas or he got mantra from bona fide preceptorial channel. Because in mantra, all Veda is contained in seed form. By repeating, by serving, then that mantra will reveal Krishna. From Brahma Gayatri, all Vedas they have come, and then there are other mantras, Kam Gayatri and others there, so they will reveal. So Guru is one who received mantra from bona fide preceptorial channel coming from Supreme Lord. In this Kali Yuga there are 4: Brahma, Rudra, Sanak, and Shri, 4 sampradayas. So you have to receive mantra from one of these 4. That link should be there, and then by practicing that mantra you will get the fruit, realization of Krishna. Then you can understand. And such a Guru only who has realized, he can give to others. Otherwise it will not be fruitful. Atmanam evatma taya vijanatam tanaiva jatam nikhilam prapanchitam jnanena bhuyo pi chatat praliyate rajvam aher bhoga bhava bhavo yatha. A person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the Supreme Soul of all souls, the expansive, illusory material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. The example, it is in Upanishad, here in commentary. Do they cross the ocean of Maya or not? Why do you say as if they transcend it? Why did the previous verse say that the material world is false or unreal, anrita? Then, here it is explained that verses 24 to 25 describe the Vivartavad theory of the impersonalists who claim that the material world is unreal and the act of transcending the material world is also unreal or false. Because if world is unreal, then there is no question of transcending it. That is also false. And preaching is also false. Sadhana is false. Everything is false. That is why the word as if is sarcastically used here in describing the act of transcending the material world. Those who are unaware that the individual spirit soul is full of knowledge and bliss must enter the material realm. It is because of ignorance that no one can understand the true nature of the soul. And because of ignorance, the material world of 5 elements was created. The word praliyate or disappears implies that by Sankhya, yoga, renunciation, austerity, and devotion, one attains transcendental wisdom, realizes that the body is different from the soul, and destroys the ocean of material existence. Such a person no longer mistakes a rope for a snake, and with this understanding he is liberated from fear. By ignorance, the material world continues, and by knowing Krishna, the material world ceases. So before it was said that when you realize Krishna as Paramatma, then you cross over the ocean of illusion that is material existence. And what is material existence? You are afraid. You are thinking, I am this body which will die. I will die one day. So fear is there, or fear of suffering. So many different fears is there. But once you realize that you are Atma, there was never a time when Atma did not exist. And never there will be time when Atma will not exist, because it is existing separately from this material energy, including material time. It is beyond that. So it is beyond birth, death, and suffering and everything. So once you realize I am that, then where is the question of any fear? There is no fear. Fear is only when we misidentify with matter, as is also in Bhagavatam 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 37th verse. Bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshata syat. Isha tapetasya viparya smriti. Fear comes when you are absorbed in dvitiya, means maya, in matter. Why that happens? Because you are averse to Krishna. Ishat apetasya. Ishat apetasya. You are turned away by the misuse of relative independence. You don't want to serve Krishna. You are seeing this side and you become absorbed in Maya. Then your intelligence is viparyo, like opposite, is not proper. But when you turn to Krishna and you come out from Maya, then there is no fear, there is no material existence. So here Brahma is saying that by ignorance, material world continues, and by knowing Krishna, the material world ceases. Agyana sangyo bhava banda moksho dvo nama nanyo sta rita gya bhavat. Ajasra siti atmani kevale pure vicharyamane tarano iva hani. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of the sun. In commentary, this verse states that the ideas of material bondage and liberation are both illusions, because the Atma never becomes matter. So it is never bound. And if not bound, then where is the question of liberation from bondage? Both is illusory. When one is situated in transcendental knowledge, one knows that they are not different from each other. Material bondage and liberation. when one understands that he is a pure spirit soul, different from the external material body, then he is no longer bewildered by the illusion of material bondage and liberation. A day and night do not exist on the sun. Material bondage and liberation do not exist when one understands the spiritual truth. There below, when you are in Atma consciousness, then that bondage is below you, and that way of coming out from that bondage, liberation, that is only below you. Like on sun, if you are on sun, then you don't feel any day and night. That is felt only by people on the earth, because the sun means the earth moves around the sun, or according to Vedic scripture, the sun is moving around earth on their chariot. So day and night is only for us. But as we will hear in 5th canto, Priya Vrata, he also made illumination on the other side of the earth. He was so compassionate that when there is no sun, he made another illumination, so there was no night. By his power he could do. So only people on the earth, they experience day and night, but those who are on sun, there is no day and night. Like that, when one is in soul consciousness, there is no question of bondage and liberation. That is below. Tvam atmanam param matva param atmanam evacha. Atma punar bahir mrigya ahogya jana tagyata. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion, and who consider the self, which is actually you, to be something else, the material body. Such fools conclude that the Supreme Soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your Supreme Personality. Commentary. Here there is also, I forgot, in this translation there is something unclear, and I found in Sai Maharaj's another one. This the self, which is actually you, this which is actually you, to be something else, the material body. And I will see what is in commentary. Brahma prayed, those who think they are knowledgeable of spiritual things, but are actually not, do not respect your transcendental forum in Braja. As previously mentioned, such persons are simply beating empty husks, those impersonalists, jnanis. They think your supreme spiritual body is material, another manifestation of illusion. That is, Mayavadis, they think like that. As I told, they accept only Brahman, impersonal Brahman is real, then that Brahman takes some material form for our sake, so that we can worship. But that is ignorance. So they think your supreme spiritual body is material, another manifestation of illusion. They consider the self, which is actually you, to be something material. Thus, they search for that supreme soul. They consider the self, Atma. Yes, here self means Atma, that Paramatma, which is actually you, to be something material. Thus, they search for that supreme soul elsewhere, supreme self. Just see the ignorance of these foolish people. So they think Krishna is material, and that Atma or Brahman, supreme truth, is something else, supreme self. Because in Upanishads you will find Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo Namedayana Bahuna Shrutena Atma Varedrashtabhyo Shrotabhyo Manteo Nidhyasya. Atma word is used. So Mayavadis, they explain this Atma, Brahma or Paramatma, this all means that Brahman, that is supreme. But that is Nirguna, Nirakar, all these things. And Krishna is Saguna Brahman, that is with material qualities. So they think this Krishna is material, so they search for supreme truth somewhere else. That is their ignorance. But in reality, it is Krishna who is supreme reality. That is the point here. The Vivartavadis evolutionists, Vivartavadis, here it is translated for Vivartavadis, and Parinamavadis, transformationists, debate about the material world instead of the perfect Lord. The form of this Chit Brahman is described in several verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vivartavadis, they say, this world is false, like we see rope and we think it's a snake, but it is not. So that is Vivarta for them. This world is illusion. And Parinamas Vadis, they say that Brahma, means supreme, transformed himself into this world. Both is incorrect. The proper Siddhanta of Vedanta is Shakti Parinamavat. There is transformation and there is reality, but that is of Shakti of Supreme Lord. Not Supreme Lord, but that material Shakti, that is transformed. So these Vivartavadis and Parinamavadis, they always debate, this world is this or this, but they never discuss about perfect Lord, Supreme Lord. Then they would know complete reality. The form of this Chit Brahman, Transcendental Brahman, is described in several verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. 1 second, I will just turn on light. Shabda Brahmatmanastasya. Brahma is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the source of transcendental sound, and is therefore above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Wait, I have to see this verse. Because whether here the Brahma four-headed is meant or It's strange. Brahma. Brahmatmana. Yes, Shabda Brahma and Atmana. I will look later in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary for that third canto, whether here Brahma, the four-headed Brahma, is meant or Brahmo, because the form of this Chit Brahma, I will check tomorrow, I can say later. Yat tat vapur bhati vibhushanayudhair avyakta chid vyaktam adarayat dharihi bhabuva tanaiva savamano vatuhu sampashyator divya gatir yata nataha. The Lord appeared in his original form with ornaments and weapons in his hands. Although this ever-existing form is not visible in the material world, he nonetheless appeared in this form. Then, in the presence of his father and mother, he assumed the form of Vamana, just like a theatrical actor. So, the point is that Supreme Lord Brahma, he has a form. Chit Brahma has a form. Here this is described. This transcendental, ever-existing, eternal form of Supreme Lord is not visible in material world. Only when he wants to be seen, when he descends, then you can see. And also he can change that form. He came in that form as Supreme Lord, then he changed that form into the form of Brahman for the sake of that pastime, because he had to go to Bali Maharaj to beg as a Brahmin dwarf. So he will say, I need only 3 steps of land, and he's very small, so Bali will not refuse. Satya Jnana Nanda Matreka Rasa Murtaya. In previous chapter of Bhagavatam here, the Vishnu Murtis manifested by the Gopa named Krishna all had eternal, unlimited forms, full of knowledge and bliss, and existing beyond the influence of time. So that is also proof that is eternal form. And Gopal Tapani Upanishad says, Yah Shakshat Parabrahmeti Govindam Satchit Ananda Vigraham Brindavana Sura Buruha Ta Lasinam. The Absolute Truth himself is Govinda, who has an eternal form of bliss and knowledge, and who is sitting beneath the shady desire trees of Brindavan. So here also there is proof. Gopal Tapani Upanishad is Shruti. And the Gopal Tapani Upanishad further states, Tasam Madhya Shakshat Brahma Gopala Puri. Among all these abodes, the residence of Lord Gopal is directly the absolute truth. Brahma Gopalapuri, that abode, that is Brindavan. That is also eternal. Brahma prayed, ignoring these scriptural statements that show Brahman has a body, means form, and exists in a spiritual abode, dham, people remain in darkness. Because they are not Mayavadis, they don't accept these statements of Shastra, or they misinterpret them. then they think Brahma, Supreme, Brahma means Brahman, has no any form, no any abode, no any Shakti, no qualities, all these things they say. But that is their misfortune. They're ignoring what Veda actually says, and therefore they remain in darkness. They are so fallen that they accept a blind Guru Parampara, that is Shankaracharya's Parampara, and discuss Vivartavad, that this world is false. It does not exist. Like you see rope, but it is actually not a rope. You see a rope and you think it is snake, but it is not. So like that, this world does not exist. It is false. You only think it is existing because of ignorance. But when you come to knowledge, you know this is false. It does not exist. That is Vivartavad. But real Vivartavad, in Shastra, it is only used that Jivatma, mistakes himself for the body. It has nothing to do with this world being false or not false. The Mayavadis, they use that word and apply to some other point. Vivartavad is mentioned in the Vedas, but it is not related to the world. It is only related to the mistake of Jivatma misidentifying with the body. That is false. So they are in the most lamentable of all lamentable conditions in my creation, Brahma says. In my creation, they are most lamentable of all lamentable conditions. Because that is totally opposite to what is the truth. They think Supreme Lord is material, this world is false, I am supreme, just the opposite as reality. Supreme Lord exists, this world is His Shakti, it exists, we are His eternal servants. That is the reality. No, we are never God. Another reading of Agya Janata means ignorant people is Gya Janata. In this case, it could be translated, what foolishness of so-called learned men. They say we know, we are Gyanis, we know all Shastra, we know everything. But in reality, they are ignorant because not accepting what really Shastra says, they are misled by Shankaracharya's commentary. Antarbhave nanta bhavantam eva hyatat tvajanto mrigayanti santaha asantam apyanti ahim antarena santam gunam tam kim u yanti santaha. O unlimited Lord, the saintly devotees seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that it is a snake? In commentary, Brahma prayed, the Gyanis think that your form is an attribute of Maya. Your saintly devotees, however, seek out the pure form of the living entity Jiva, free from the covering of Maya. By rejecting that which is material, not spiritual, they seek out the Jiva which takes birth among countless species, Ananta Bhavam, in various bodies. To reject everything material, one must first reject the false conception that I am the material body. Next, the procedure is mentioned. Brahma continued, how can one appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before him until he refutes the illusion that it is a snake? In the Vedas it is said, Asango yam purushah. The soul has nothing to do with the body, with this body. Thus the jiva has no bodily suffering. But due to ignorance, the jiva identifies with its body and thus experiences various miseries. Without rejecting everything related to the body, how can one realize his spiritual identity just by cultivating transcendental knowledge, that Gyan? No, one cannot know the soul without rejecting all attachments to the material body. It seems because this version which I have, the translation of the verse is of Srila Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, and the commentary is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So it seems here they commented in different way. Swami Maharaj is referring that if you reject everything material, then you will realize Supreme Lord within your heart. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that the saintly devotees, they, by rejecting everything material, they find the pure form of the living entity. That is, that he is eternal servant of Krishna. But the thing is, it happens simultaneously. When you realize Supreme Lord, at that time also you see your real self in relation to him. Automatically it is, because that light is there, knowledge is there, and you can see yourself directly. Like when sun comes, he will show himself and also all other things in proper perspective. So you will see yourself like with the help of mirror. Without mirror you cannot see your body. Like that, without the grace of Supreme Lord, you cannot see yourself. When he appears, then you can see yourself also. So when you see yourself, real self, that you are eternally related to Krishna, then also you will see Krishna. It is simultaneously it is happening, because you cannot realize your real self without realizing Krishna. But for this you have to reject everything what is material by that process. So then you can appreciate the rope once you give up the idea that it is snake. As long as you think this rope is a snake, you cannot realize the rope. First you have to remove that ignorance, then you can appreciate or realize that it is rope. So both Supreme Lord and the Jiva have transcendental form, and they are eternally connected as master and servant. So in any way we can say Brahma wants to say that you have to reject all material attachments and all these things, then you can realize what is spiritual, eternal. Either your real self or Krishna, because they're both simultaneously you will realize. He wants to say that Supreme Lord is not material illusion, and the Jiva is also not material, because Mayavadis, they say Krishna is Saguna Brahman, Brahman in material pot, but that is Maic pot. And Jiva is also Brahma, but also in Maic pot, material pot. The difference between Jiva and Ishvar is that Ishvar knows I am Brahman, but this Jiva does not know. When Jiva will realize I am Brahman, I am not this body, then will become Ishvar, God in this material form, and ultimately will become merged into that Brahma. Then there is no more this material body. So that is false. For them, Ishvar is false, Jiva is false, relation also is false, all material. But for devotees who have realized the absolute truth, they know that Jiva has eternal form, transcendental, is eternally existing, and Supreme Lord also is eternally existing, and the relation is eternal and devotion is eternal. Tad Vishno Paramang Padam Sada Pashanti Surya Diviva Chakshuratatam. Three are eternal. The object of worship, the worshipper, and worship are eternal, all. Yes, now this is the point. Athapi te deva padam bhuja dvaya prasada leshanugrihita eva hi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya ekopi chiram vichinvan. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. In the commentary, Brahma prayed, only by Krishna Bhakti is it possible for the living entity who has discarded his material coverings to realize the bliss of Brahman. Being blessed with a particle of mercy from your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. Matsya Avatar says in Bhagavatam, this verse is there, Madhyam Mahimanam Cha Param Brahmeti Shabditam. Advised and favored by me, you will know everything about my glories, which are known as Parabrahma, because they will manifest within your heart. Advised with the process by Supreme Lord through bona fide Guru, and then when you do sadhana, when he will bless you, then you can know him, you can realize him. That will manifest in your heart, means in your soul's eye, you will be able to see Supreme Lord, realize. That is only possible by mercy. And that mercy is two types. In some case, Supreme Lord will say you do sadhana. So when he gives you sadhana, advises sadhana and gives you sadhana, that is already his mercy. And when you will do sadhana, when he will bless you, you will realize. That is one way, that is general way. But in some special cases, even without sadhana, one can realize Supreme Lord by his will only. That is Kripa Siddhi. In both cases, Kripa is necessary, because without the grace of Krishna we cannot get proper advice, we cannot get proper practice, and we cannot get realization. Always there is Kripa involved. But in one process, sadhana is involved. In another, no sadhana is involved. Directly you will get. So Sridhar Swami explains this verse as follows. By Krishna's mercy, one can know the Supreme Brahman. To obtain a particle of the Lord's mercy means that the Jnani performed mixed devotional service previously. The Lord bestows the mercy of Bhakti Yoga to that Jnani who, giving up avidya and vidya, accepts pure bhakti. However, one who gives up bhakti in preference to jnana and enthusiastically pursues Brahman, though he is a guru for thousands of jnanis, studies scriptures and practices yoga for a long time, will never know the true nature of the Lord. That verse is there in Gita. Brahma bhuta prasanatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. That Jnani, liberated Jnani, he accepts devotion to Krishna. Then he can realize, like for Kumaras or Shukadev Goswami. They, from Jnana, they upgraded to devotion and they could realize Krishna's eternal form. And Krishna also says in Gita, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlava. Such great soul is very rare, who after many births in Gyan, ultimately he understands that I am everything, I, Supreme Personality, I am everything. Then he surrenders unto me, he becomes pure devotee. They can understand. But those who think bhakti is for low class of people, for those who are unable to meditate on the impersonal Brahman, so they give up bhakti and they pursue Gyan of impersonal, they can never attain the realization of Supreme Lord, though they may be guru of thousands of Jnanis, like Prakashananda Saraswati, so many disciples, thousands of disciples in Varanasi. Also Sarvam Bhattacharya in Puri, he had so many disciples, though he was household person, but he had disciples who were sannyasis, Mayavadis. So he may study scripture, he may practice yoga a long time, but will not know the true nature of the Lord. Sarvam Bhattacharya could not understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only when he got his mercy, then he could realize. Prakashananda Saraswati also could not understand. But when he got mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could understand about Krishna and everything. True nature of the Lord can only be by His grace. So tomorrow I am going to Pula temple for some days. Next Harikatha will be most probably on Tuesday evening. If not, I will inform, but most probably Tuesday 8 p.m. Slovenian time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Jagannatha Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Jagannatha Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Gopinatha Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Gopinatha Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Shri Gauranga Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Shri Gauranga Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Nityananda Hari Hari, Ram Krishna Vasudeva, Nityananda Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Nayananath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila, Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Gurubari ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashanakari Shri Nrishingadev ki Jai. Jai Shri Purushottam Mas ki Jai. Jai Shri Purushottam Vrata ki Jai. Jai Vrata Palankari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Jai Ananta Kuti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Bol. Thank you all. Dandavat Pranam. Hari Bol.